How y'all doing? My name's Dewey Cox, and well, it looks like I got some proving myself to do. Big daddy, big daddy. Get off my back, get out of my face, go away, get off of my case, I'm sick of you. There we go, ready? 1 for 4.
4 for Cox.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Take my hand.
I do have a lot of music in my background. I play guitar and I've had bands over the years, but it was more like a hobby. It was just something that was fun for me to do.
Right here, buddy. Second string. There you go. Open. Bum, 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 bum.
I was so excited about the prospect of generating all this music. And in fact, the majority of the songs were written, produced, and performed by a group of my very close friends.
We covered folk, rock and roll, rockabilly, disco, singer-songwriter, hip-hop, psychedelic. It's one of the big musical achievements of my life, probably.
I think if any of us had stopped at any point during that recording process for the songs and thought, how many do we have left? It would have been just too overwhelming. We just went song by song. Okay, what are we doing this week?
Come on and take my hand.
Yeah, to me, one of the great jokes of the movie is that the music is good. And I'm really happy about it because I think it makes it a lot more fun and you actually get into it even though it's ridiculous.
Walk hard, hard.
We wrote ideas for songs into the script. We knew we needed a Walk Hard song. We knew we needed a Guilty as Charged song. We knew we needed a Life Without You song.
Once we had that list, we just started sending scripts out to people, asking them to read the scripts and seeing if they responded to any of the song cues in the film.
Had a struggle every day my whole life.
Marshall Crenshaw was actually the first person we called to write for Walk Hard. Other than being big fans, we knew that the idea that he played Buddy Holly in La Bamba was going to score some bonus points with Jake and Judd.
I would say the first sort of real crystallizing moment was the first time I heard Marshall Crenshaw's demo for Walk Hard. It was clearly like he had knocked it out of the park. There would be no competition. That was the one.
And everyone was thrilled. I mean, when the song came in, it was like home run.
Had to struggle every day my whole life through. Seen my shadows still got a dream and a burning reach to live. Maybe not.
Yeah. Quickly, as soon as we got into the studio, John was very involved in helping to direct what Dewey's music should sound like.
But I still got a dream and a burning reach to live.
That's pretty badass. Ready? 2, 3. It was very important to have him involved, and he has great ideas and an incredible instinct. So I treated it like he's the artist, and I'm producing his record.
And then for Walk Hard, Walk Hard, Walk Hard, Walk Hard. Becomes the major at the end for the big heroic finish.
He has an incredible sense as an actor, but also as a musician. He plays the guitar real well and has a good lyric sense and musical sense. And I mean, his character was the guy that was gonna have to pull this stuff off.
It's great.
It's really good.
What a big finish.
Walk Hard sort of started to set a voice for the character. It ended up being a big thing. And very shortly after that, a few weeks after that, Mike Viola sent in his demo for Life Without You.
You are the perfect wife. I don't know why
started getting some really good songs written by Mike Viola and Dan Byrne. And John was very deeply involved in the crafting of all of the songs. They all became studio rats. I mean, they spent literally months and months in the recording studio.
I mean, I'd been living with Dewey inside me for months and months. And then finally came the day when I was in the studio and John was there. It's like, I think I creeped him out maybe because I was just like, there's Dewey. It's behind the glass.
That's awesome.
I wrote a song called Guilty as Charged. I wrote a couple versions that were sort of serious versions of what they wanted. They kept telling me to rewrite and, you know, saying we need it way more funny, we need it more angry.
There's a couple little lyric things I'm still not 100% on.
And we just couldn't find the tone that we were looking for.
Yeah, something more active that's not about heartbreak and, you know what I mean?
Well, we put that in there because it's a response to Darlene.
I know, but I think...
Alright, I'm busted.
I think it's having the wrong... It's taking us the wrong direction. Because what he was doing, which was, you know, he screwed somebody, I'll screw everybody in this fucking town or whatever he had in there, was like...
Wait, what did you just say, Jake?
I'm a wanted man and I'm blowing town. Don't waste your time trying to track me down.
That's pretty heavy, dude.
Guilty was written by Charlie Wadhams. That song came in along with a couple other songs. I know Dan Byrne had a song for Guilty that we recorded.
Mike, does it seem a touch fast to you?
Not really. Before we'd met, we had been asked independently to write our own version. And I cranked out like 5 different ones. You probably did too.
Yeah, at least.
Let's do one more.
Yeah.
Why not?
They were sort of neck and neck for a long time, even all the way up until they actually filmed the movie. So I had to do productions of both Dan's version and Charlie's version.
It might be cooler that last way.
Either way, I'm cool with it. I don't know. It's you guys are listening to it. We're playing it, so it's like it feels good to play it faster. But if it sounds better to play it slower, it's cool. Whatever.
You can always do when they're hopped up on speed. Like you play this song in triple time.
And some of them were sitting right in the recording studio. Like when I was in there trying to save my song and rewrite lyrics, some of the other songwriters, like Mike Viola, would be sitting right there kind of checking me out, you know.
When you feel the ground shaking underneath your feet, that's yours truly walking down the street.
Can we grab Street from the other one?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
John C. Reilly would take the song and just improvise all the time.
Don't do any breaks until we have our next dramatic moment, you know?
He was constantly coming up with alternate versions of a line or something like that, or offering up suggestions.
Making a song a little peppier, it's trying to please a little bit, like,
yeah.
I'm trying to...
Yeah, that's right.
This is like...
This feels a little more...
Could be a little slower, like, I'll take my fucking time.
Yeah, I agree. That's sort of how I felt that too. Between Walk Hard and Guilty as Charged, we sort of knew what Dewey's music would sound like.
That's definitely funny.
I think it's really good.
Line.
And then Charlie Wadhams sent in a duet demo that was brilliant and kind of perfect.
In my dreams, you're blowing me some kisses. That's one of my favorite things to do.
I didn't realize that it was supposed to be so funny and very sexually suggestive. So the first version I wrote was like, darling, do you ever get lonely? She says, no, not when you are around.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Mr. Cox.
Oh man, yeah, I'll tell you about the music. I took voice lessons, and I went to this guy who is seriously like the best voice teacher. One day I showed up at his house and Meatloaf was walking out.
You ready to sing one?
I'm always ready.
I have one song in this movie, a duet, one song with my voice. So we go, we sing, we're harmonizing. It sounds pretty good, like on the crackly amp, microphone.
Put 2 and 2 together, perfect harmony we found. We know it's only natural. Let's do it.
We listened to it back, and it was like 90 times worse than the experience of hearing yourself on your own like voice recorder, like your own voicemail where it's like, say your name and you're like, Jenna Fischer. Then you listen back and it's like, Jenna Fischer. So we used another voice for the track in the end. It is not my voice in the film.
You can always come in my back door.
The female voice for Let's Duet is Angela Correa, a Los Angeles-based singer-songwriter. She recorded Let's Duet with John, and as soon as we heard it, we really responded to the sexual quality of her voice, which really fit the lyrical undertones of Let's Duet.
We know it's only natural. Let's do it.
We cut. Really nice. Really good.
Hey, hey, who wants to party? Hey, hey, who wants to party?
At one point, like the 70s became everyone's favorite.
But there should be a thing in the beginning where you kind of meet the girl. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
join my party? And then by the
That's
then
funny.
the breakdown is you're actually having sex with her and like.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
These sounded like songs that could be hits. They're all slightly off and slightly wrong, but it's still kind of great sounding music.
I'll pay for it. Money's no object. I'll rent the whole disco. Seriously, I've got that kind of pull.
Definitely really fell in love with doing the 70s stuff, and we very easily could have done an entire season of Dewey's variety show, the Dewey Cox Show.
Walk hard, hard, down life's rocky road. Walk bold.
Disco.
Disco.
Disco's now, man.
If you include all the performances and everything, the movie would be like 3.5 hours long. It's the Dewey of Arabia. When you got it, you got it.
And then we had to put together an all-star band to perform a tribute to him for the end of the movie.
Walk hard. It's something that none of us would have ever imagined doing.
It was fun to visit and hang and actually get to do a duet with people you never ever would have done them with before.
It was really surreal, actually. I sat down with him and showed him the song, and then Lyle Lovett got up there and sang it in like a take. He's a master. And Jewel got up and did it in a take, and then Jackson Browne with just, you know, his voice, classic Jackson Browne. He got up there and did it real quick, and it's painless.
My guns pop out like a jack in the box. I'll cut you in half like Dewey Cox.
The band is wonderful. It just felt like I was back there with Sinatra in them.
And you'd really never feel more Caucasian than that moment when you're sitting with Ghostface Killer trying to punch up his stuff with him. I remember at some point I asked him if we could have more prison references. I don't know if that's really correct, but he added the word shiv, and we moved on.
Jake asked me if I wanted to be in the movie, and it sounded great. It sounded really fun, but I didn't realize it was going to be such a big film with so many great people in it. So that's a pleasant surprise. And I didn't realize that John can sing like this.
Now that I have lived a lifetime's worth of days.
My favorite is Beautiful Ride because it's a real mashup of what we both do really well.
So listen when I sing of the temptations of this world.
I had been working on this thing to sort of summed up his life, and I had this thing.
It was a stack of pages of lyrics.
And then Mike came and added a big chorus, and the song kind of gelled right there, and everybody who heard it was like,
It's about the good walk and the hard walk and the young girls you've made cry. It's about making little music every day till you die. It's a beautiful ride.
And then we were afraid that it was too earnest for a while, and we thought that maybe it wouldn't be funny, but it was the most earnest moment in the film, I think, and that's why they put all the jokes against it, so it would be funny. And we also, I mean, the idea about, I think, for Beautiful Ride was to sort of a little bit of for all of us to acknowledge our love of music. So we gave it the biggest possible treatment we could.
I've worked on the music for a lot of films, but never before have I been able to create an entire catalog of a non-existing living legend.
You know, the rock and roll fantasy part of me is really, really proud of having been in the studio and collaborating with songwriters and playing music and singing, and the creation of the music is a part of this that I'm really proud of, and is also very unique in terms of my other work. You know, it's the first time I've ever had to do anything like that. It's alright if you're coy. After all, I'm a boy, and you're a girl, but make no mistake, yours is the hand I want to take, so please, please, take my hand.
Take my hand. You know what I mean? Like a pregnant pause. Yeah. So it's like, please, please, don't you take my hand. Take my hand. That's pretty funny. That's awesome. Sweet.